Let's divide the fractions 2 and an eighth by 3 and a half, and then divide that by 17 over 7. To perform this operation, we'll first convert each one of the two fractions here into an improper fraction. Then we'll divide the first two numbers to come up with a fraction, and then divide that result by 17 sevenths. So to begin, to convert 2 and 1/8 to an improper fraction, we'll multiply 8 times 2 and then add 1 and write that over the denominator 8. This becomes 8 times 2 plus 1 over 8. That's being divided by, to convert 3 and 1/2 to a improper fraction, we'll multiply 2 times 3 and then add 1 to that over 2. So 2 times 3 plus 1 over 2. And finally, we'll simply write down the third fraction again, 17 over 7. Next, simplifying these first two fractions, multiplying and then adding, 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 becomes 17 over 8, divided by 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7 over 2, and then finally divide that by 17 over 7. Let's scroll this down a little. Next, looking at the first two fractions, dividing going left to right, we see that since we're dividing fractions, our rules tell us to invert the second fraction and change it to multiplying. That means that this becomes 17 over 8 multiplied by, inverting the second fraction becomes 2 over 7 divided by 17 over 7. We realize that we can reduce the first two fractions since 2 divides into itself once and 2 is divided into to become 4. Let's write this over here. So this becomes 17 over 4 multiplied by 1 over 7 divided by 17 over 7. With our two fractions now, we realize that when we're multiplying fractions, we multiply numerators and denominators. So 17 times 1 over 4 times 7. This fraction will be divided soon by 17 by 7. Next, 17 times 1 is 17, and 4 times 7 is 28, divided by 17 over 7. Let's repeat this process again for our final remaining fractions. Again, since we're dividing fractions, we'll write the first fraction again, 17 over 28, but invert the second fraction to write it as 7 over 17, and change this to multiplying. Again, we realize that we can reduce these fractions since 7 divides into itself once and into 28 4 times, and in fact 17 divides into itself once and into itself once. This becomes 1 over 4 multiplied by 1 over 1. Following our rules again, we'll multiply the numerator and the denominator. So this becomes 1 times 1 over 4 times 1, which our final answer becomes 1 over 4. Since this fraction cannot be reduced, our final answer is 1/4.